up? Mm-mm-mm. Well, anywho, hi guys, let's jump right into this video. So, that being said, so I don't remember if y'all remember, if you know, if blah, blah. So, okay, so like a week or two ago, I told you I said I had tried for something, and it's like if it worked out, I would like to take you guys with me and show you a part of that experience. I don't know if you remember that, but I said it. But anywho, so I tried for the thing and the thing didn't work. Fun thing about that is that before I found out that I wasn't going and that it wasn't going to work, I also found out that even if it would have went through, I would not have been able to record. So it didn't even matter. You guys would have never been a part of that journey. You might have been about blah, blah, blah. You might have been a part of like when I came back from said experience and all that stuff, but yeah, you would have never actually got to, be around certain things. So that was cool. But yeah, I did try for something. It was going to be something that would have been on the YouTube platform, and it was a pretty big name, and made it past the first round. Then I did an interview and I bombed. I didn't bomb, but it's like I don't talk to people. And I say that to y'all, but I really don't talk to people. And I didn't realize how much I did not talk to people about my story until I was talking about my story. And the lady said, "Tell me about your life." And I drew a blank. How were you when you were growing up? I was charismatic. I was a little fire starter. I was a whole bunch of things. I was who I am now. A little bit more tone. No, not I'm toned now. Back then, I not toned back then. I was set tripping. I was out here. I was thugging with my rounds. Even when I didn't have no rounds, I was just out here thugging. It didn't even matter. One thing about me, I was gonna do me with or without anybody else attached to me, honey. But let me tell you, yeah, I couldn't tell this lady anything. I have stories, man. I bit my principal, guys. I pulled my principal by the tie, huh? Knocked over their desk or table. You feel me? I would knock over a classroom desk in the classroom. I got mad. I made the principal chase me to come get me when he had to come get me out of class. I said, "Catch me if you can, punk," because that's the only way you're gonna get me. I remember hiding behind stuff like ha ha, like it was a game. Horrible. I mean, I had a good heart, but horrible. I remember this one time for the book fair, I said, "I'm gonna get me a book, honey, and ain't nothing gonna stop me. I'm gonna get exactly what I want from that book fair." So they had the thing where you sell the little stuff out the books. I don't know if you guys participated in that for your school. Like you can, it's like the catalog, and you sell stuff out of it, and you get the money, and you can win prizes based on how much you sell and stuff. And I remember so vividly, I went to this white man's apartment in my unit in the place I live, and he said, I told him I was selling whatever I was selling. He said, "Okay, you're gonna give me my money back, right?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And it said, but what in my mind, I said, "Why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? Why would you be like, you gonna give me my money back, or not my money back?" He was like, "You're gonna give me, you're not gonna just take my money, right? You're gonna give me, what he purchased. I think it was some candy." Okay. He's like, "You're gonna give me my candy, right? Like, you're gonna come back. You're not gonna just take my money." And I was like, "Yeah." And so in my head, though, I was like, "Why would you say that? Like, if you think I'm a steal, why you think I'm a steal, white man? Because I'm black." Well, I did steal, so he was right. But I only stole because I felt like that's what you thought of me. And plus I got things to get from the book fair. If I give this money to the people for the candy, I don't get nothing for it. I have to like keep selling stuff and then raise a certain amount to win prizes. You know what I mean? And the book fair was the next day. After the day I came to him, the next day was the book fair at the school. And I said, I mean, listen, you didn't expect much of me, and I needed my book, so we both win. And I did. I took that man's money, and I never gave him his product, and I never seen that man again. And I apologize to you, sir, in a way, but in another way, I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So you believe it, so you receive it. You believe that I was stealing, so I stole. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's valid. I feel it's valid. I feel bad also, but I don't want to dwell on that. So what I'm saying is there's so many stories, and I don't know if I wanted to tell her that I was a thief. But what I'm saying is there were so many stories and things that I could have told her about my life. And she kept on, and before we even started the interview, she said, "Hey, basically, I just want you to, like, I'm looking for somebody who, I don't have to pull teeth. Don't make me pull teeth when it comes to basically asking your story. Somebody, they're looking for, somebody who's on it. You know what I mean? And you're charismatic, and I am these things. Like, I have everything she had told me she needed, but I got on that camera once she said we're recording, once she said start, and I became something totally different, honey. It vanished from my brain. Every thought that ever existed in my head of anything that has happened, any experience that I have lived prior to that day, vamoose. I don't know what that meant. I heard somebody else say it. Whatever. But it went away. It went away. It went away. And when the interview was over, I knew it. I said, when the interview was over, I knew it was over for me. I was trying to be optimistic, but I literally got on the camera and did everything like she said. Hey, just tell me your story. I'm looking for good energy. Don't, make me have to pull it out of you. And I made her have to pull it out of me, and she still didn't get nothing but the bare minimum. And I was like, what the? Why'd you come? You know what I mean? Like, why did we even do this? You know what I mean? Like, that was a waste of my time and hers. I was proud of myself because I did it. I was scared of the process, but even with the process being scary, I went through every process and I did it by myself. And I stood on myself and my faith in my creator that, hey, whatever's meant for me will happen, but I got everything it takes. What I have is sufficient enough, and I'm going to use, and it was sufficient enough. That's the thing. It's how I used it. That's the thing. So it wasn't meant. And that's how I have to see it. And it was going to involve drinking anyways, and I can't really be drinking like that. I mean, I have my occasional wine, but with all the health stuff that went on and that is still going on, I can't afford to be drinking like that anyways. But I was going to go if I got to go. I was going to go if I got to go. And I did not. And I knew it. Like I said, I knew it. I felt it in my stomach when I got off that phone. I said, I got all cute. Yeah, so the old me would have dwelled on it more. The time came and went. The whole process would be over by now. So yeah, the time came and went. I know that I've changed because in the past I definitely would have dwelled on that. I would not have been able to let that go. I would have beat myself up. Am I happy with it? With my performance? You know, no, I don't understand what happened. Why it did like this, like Men in Black, and they did the pen, and then it's like everything go away. That's what happened. Pen did like this, and then honestly, Pen didn't even do a full swipe, and it was already gone. Mid, it was like about right here. We didn't even get to here, and it was done. It was over for me. So initially, I was a little saddened because it's okay to have your feelings, and I was frustrated a little bit. But at this, and I already knew, like, I'm gonna make space for myself to feel whatever I felt, and so I did, and I felt whatever I felt, and I was frustrated a little bit because I just was like, that was the closest thing that got me, or that to me was one of the opportunities that would have got me the closest to what I like want to do, as far as like I want to be in the artsies, and I want to feel like I'm not just in the art world as far as like either content creating or writing books or whatever I choose to do. Whatever I choose to do. I I don't want to just be in the world. I want to actually advance, in a way that will be ultimately lucrative for me. So it got me closest to my dreams of like wanting to do what I love while also making money. Would I have made money from that? That wasn't a guarantee. That was up in the air. But some things it's like, hey, you go for the experience, you're going to get eyes on you, and then you still do have the opportunity to get something from it financially. But even if you didn't, you still got eyes on you. You still, got a platform of people that you would have not ordinarily had. You know what I mean? So it was frustrating in that. Like, I wasn't tripping specifically like that thing didn't happen. Like, oh, I don't know how to make it how to explain it, but like, it's okay if that thing didn't work. Like, I wasn't the specific thing I wasn't tripping off of. The fact that what that thing represented to me for me, that's what was more problemsome, is that it made me feel like I was getting closer to my dreams, or like that would be one step that I'm walking in the direction of my dreams, and something I can be like, yes, okay, look at, I did this. Everything I'm doing is not in vain, even though it may be a slower process. It's adding up to something, because I've done this, and now this, and this is a big thing. And then maybe that, I was just thinking about what it could have done for me. And so I think that was more the problem for me, and the independence that I felt like I would have got from it, and just different things. It was more the things that it, like I said, it represented for me and what it could have done, more than the thing actually itself. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, hey, whatever. So I feel like I was more, if I was torn up about anything, I was irritated that my stuff just went away when I was talking on the interview with the person, lady or whatever. But I was more bothered by the fact of like, I just felt like that opportunity could have did other things for me. And but I also feel like what is for you is for you. So it just wouldn't allow me to stay on it so deeply. So now, like, even it got to a point that was like, once the thing is done, once it comes out, I don't know if I want to watch it, because I didn't get to be a part of it, and that might be a trigger for me. But then after the fact, when things came and went and I didn't get to go, that was what I thought while I was still in the process of waiting to see if I was going to get it. But once the thing happened and I didn't get it or whatever, I was like, I still want to watch it. I am a daydreamer, and I'm not tripping. Like, if it was for me, I would have been there, but I also want to see, like, who would I have been around potentially if I got to go, and that's fun for me. But yeah, I could definitely say that I've grown, because it wouldn't have been the same thing. And I'm also trying not to get caught up in, like, okay, any one thing being the thing. I feel like anything can happen at any time. And I feel like a lot of the things that haven't transpired in my life recently, I've had that epiphany, is not because I'm not worthy, not because I'm not smart enough or good enough, or that I don't deserve it. I'm not ready for it, or I was not ready for it. So I feel like once, my creator feels like I am ready for stuff, then opportunities will fall in line. But I noticed that, like, when I am ready for stuff and things do come into my life, they come in so easily. Like, I might have been slaving for this thing in the past, and then all of a sudden, it just, the same thing I have been working for all these years, just comes to me like that. That usually happens when I'm ready for stuff. Then it comes into my life. And so I just took it as like, certain things, like I said, haven't happened because it wasn't my time, or, and part of that being because I may not have been ready. And now I'm starting to see, as things are coming up, that, like, I thought years ago that I was ready for certain things, but now as certain things come up, I'm like, "Ooh, I just now starting to feel ready. I was not ready. I was not ready at all. I would have, I would have blew that, or I could have seen, or I could see where I would have been mentally, or how I would have acted, how I would have responded to certain opportunities. So I'm like, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, it was just exciting to feel like, I could have really branched out and did something cool. Like I said, I'm trying not to get stuck on any one thing being the thing. I feel like multiple things could happen, or anything could happen at any point. And I'm trying not to get stuck on methods, and I'm trying not to get stuck on people. Like, I just want to know that, or I don't know what's going on with my words right now, but I just want to, I know that what's for me is for me, and that my creator can use anything, anyone at any time. So I don't need to be hung up on the things that don't work. Like there was so many things that happened in my birthday month, which was June, that was just like weird. That like I talked to someone about my dreams, and I talked to this person. Like I don't tell people my dreams. I don't. I just got honest with myself about what my dreams were just this past year and a half, because I felt like I was asking for too much. I was afraid to ask for what I really wanted, also because I felt like I wouldn't get it. So the fear of being rejected or not receiving that thing, or feeling like I'm asking for too much, made it to where I would ask for like other stuff around it. I wouldn't really ever ask directly for what I wanted. So just like I said about a year and a half ago, I actually wrote down for real like what I want and what my dreams look like. But it took me that long, and I'm now 36 to and I was 35, maybe 34 and a half ish, that I started to oh my fucking goodness gracious, be honest about my wants and my dreams. And so I hadn't gotten used to telling anybody else, because like I said, I had just learned how to tell myself the truth. So in that same month, with that stuff that didn't happen, there was someone else I talked to, like I said, and I talked to said person about my dreams, and I was so honest, and it was like crazy because that was new to me, to be that, and being able to say my honest dreams, even if whoever I'm being honest with doesn't lead me to them. That's hard for me, or that would have been hard for me. I don't know how to explain that, because it was very vulnerable, so I felt very insecure when I didn't get a certain response afterwards from said human. But also I felt like it was a learning experience to stand on business of what you believe and what you truly want, and it's okay to ask for what you want and to share what you want and to put that energy out there. But it was also very scary. And so like I said, putting that out there, telling someone that, and then kind of it got kind of quiet afterwards. I was kind of like, okay. And it was due, I feel like it was from a different thing I was talking to the person about, but in that same conversation, I talked about my dreams. So ultimately, the conversation, went past my dream sharing into other things, and that those other things, I feel like it ended on that. But because it even had any type of weird vibes, and I could be reading more into it, but because it did end a weird way to me in general, and it was in that same conversation that I share my dreams, I just felt very weird about that. So I just was like, dang, I'm getting like tested, because these are like my heart things. These are things that these are my dreams. Of course, they're fragile. Of course, they matter to me. Of course, that you are going to be sensitive about that. And I share these things, and I put myself out there for certain things, and neither of those things worked or led me to where I thought it could or would. And but it's like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I gotta be okay with that. And for the most part I am, but I also still want something to go. I want something to shake. I want things to start happening for me. I want my dreams to come true, like most of us do. Oh my God. Come on, Dr. Suits. But real talk. So June was weird. It's better than the June of last year, but weird nonetheless. And I just couldn't quite put a finger on that. But it's done. And now we're in July, and I don't really know what to expect. But I shared that with y'all. And I think that's all I got really to say about that. Yeah, I'm still pushing every day, and that was weird. That was weird. That wasn't. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I've been doing a lot of things. I've been very honest. I've been standing on business of who I am, whether it looks good or not, whether people favor it or not. I'm very proud of myself. And I don't want to confuse that or mix that up with things not going a certain way in my external world. I don't want to mesh them together. I am proud of myself and the changes and the growth that I am exuding. Period. New sentence. I would like to see the work once again that I'm putting in manifest and materialize into my external world as well. On a deeper level. But yeah, I definitely am proud of myself, and I do feel like this is part of the journey. This is part of getting to where I want to be. Hopefully, um, hell if I know. You know what I mean? I'm taking it one day at a time. I put on one. Never mind. I was gonna say something, and as I was about to say it, it sounds stupid, so I did not say it. But so yeah, I tried, and I'm gonna keep trying. Um, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer every time I get on this camera, like I said before, but also, like I said before, I have to be vulnerable. And that has been one of the biggest things. I'm also proud of myself because, once again, I feel like this whole journey somewhat has been a shit show. It sucks. Like I said, growth is happening, but the things I'm going through to have to grow, I don't like it. And so then I get on camera and like I said, I don't, and then I just, sometimes I don't want to talk to no one. I'm like sliding down a wall. You know what I'm saying? I'm like punching the air like Trey in Boys to Hood. Boys to Hood? Boys in the Hood. What is Boys to Hood? Boys to Men, but not Boys to Hood. Boys in the Hood. Trey, aka Cuba. What? Cuba Gooding Jr. That's his name. He played Trey, man, in Boys in the Hood, bro. And when the cops, he came back, like they got pulled over by the cops. If you know, you know. He comes in the house. He goes to Nia. I don't know what Nia's name was in that movie. I forgot. Was her name Lisa? Maybe. Who knows? Because I forgot. But anywho, he goes in there. He's like sad and he's so upset. And he does the iconic. Yeah, he punched the air and he cried. And I've been punching the air and crying a lot as well. But here I am every week showing up. So that ends this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love y'all. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, your day, your whatever you got going on. And you know, I told you one thing about me with the vocals. I mean, I really could have been a vocal coach, honestly. There's so many talents, and I don't know. I might have to tap in because it's crazy how my voice is superior trash. All right. So anywho, yeah, I'm out of here. Love you. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. And yeah, I'll have some stuff to share with you that I'll force out of myself next week, whenever I do it. Okay. All right. 23 minutes. Long video again. Ugh, Rutgers, I hate when it happens. No, I don't. Okay. I'm going mad because I'm all over the place right now. Holy moly. I'm fall with. See, the thing that make me stop saying stuff is because I be saying it already so many times that I'm like, I don't want to say that again. You feel me? The lighting is getting better and better because I put my light on the charger, and as it gets juiced up, it brightens up. So I don't know if you noticed, but the light has gotten progressively better, and I look, you can see me better. I don't know what the y'all take care of yourselves. All right. Nope. Y'all take care of yourselves now. You hear? All right. Bye.